Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now heavyweights, we're talking about a little concussion here. But we also got to be a little bit glasses half empty type of mentality here, which we most of the time have. But hey, I have to just tell you again, I told you. Right? When you come to former two-time heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua versus WBC champion with 10 title defenses, Deontay Wilder. Anthony Joshua doesn't fancy the fight, and for years. And I've told you they were supposed to fight in December, right? From the Saudis, remember we heard about it. The Saudis are, supposed to fight Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, and then Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. And I've been telling you for a while that's probably not going to happen because Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua are involved. Tyson Fury is going to do whatever it takes to not fight Usyk because he would have fought him earlier this year. And Anthony Joshua has had 5 or 6 years to fight Deontay Wilder, and he doesn't fancy the fight. And I know a lot of people say, oh, yes, he does, and this and that. But negotiations showed that he didn't. With $50 million he could have had, and that wasn't a flat fee, would have went up to fight Deontay Wilder. You got to imagine if Deontay Wilder is windmill Wilder, doesn't know how to fight, doesn't have too much fundamentals, then those kind of guys you go beat up because it's easy money to become undisputed. And when you look at that, that's why Anthony Joshua and Canelo are the same almost to me. Because Canelo did the same thing, $40 million just to fight Demetrius Andrade, and you're undisputed in the middleweight division, and then there's all kind of stuff that happens. But the problem that we have is that there's people, and people listen to them now. All over the internet, your opinion comes out, and so people feel like, well, whoa, everybody's not blaming me, so I can get away with trying to get around this guy. So Deontay Wilder is what Demetrius Andrade is to Canelo. Deontay Wilder is that to Anthony Joshua. He doesn't want it. Now, here's an example of him not wanting it. Anthony Joshua just said a day or two ago that Tyson Fury is a duck. You guys know I like to use the word avoid, but he's a duck because he won't fight him, and he seems to not want to fight Alexander Usyk, right? He's a duck. Whatever. He's not doing that. He ain't fighting him. Right? And he's not fighting Alexander Usyk. So Anthony Joshua's openly called Tyson Fury a duck because he fancies the fight with Tyson Fury. I've been telling you that for years. He doesn't fancy the fight with Deontay Wilder. So he's called him a duck. Has Anthony Joshua ever called Deontay Wilder anything? Like anything? A duck? He's messing up the negotiations. He should fight me right now. Right? He knows better than to do that because Deontay Wilder is worse than the Candyman. You ain't got to call his name 3 times, you Anthony Joshua. You got to call it once, and he would be there on the phone or be there at your fight, right? Speaking of coming to your fights, Deontay Wilder was banned for coming from the fights. They didn't want him to come in the ring when he came to do some commentating, right? Couldn't come in the ring with Anthony Joshua. He didn't want him around. Has Anthony Joshua been to any Deontay Wilder fight? Or tried to call him out. Hey, Deontay, come on, man, let's fight right now, bro. You ain't about nothing. Any of those things that normal boxers do when they want to fight somebody. Has that happened from Anthony Joshua to Deontay Wilder? No, and a resounding one. So let's just stop the BS and force him to act like a boxer when talking about Deontay Wilder. Doesn't happen. So now the bad news is, Anthony Joshua looked for another fight in December instead of the Deontay Wilder fight. The Jermaine Franklin should have been the last one. He's supposed to be gearing up for Deontay Wilder, but just like David Benavidez ain't signed as part of the contract with Demetrius Andrade, Anthony Joshua and them, there is always some kind of shenanigans when it comes to Deontay Wilder. So they're talking about a fight in December, and I just seen an article that said, well, Anthony Joshua has to do well in December, get a good knockout in order to get the Deontay Wilder fight. So if he's going to fight in December, right, then he ain't fighting Deontay Wilder before April. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there it goes again, which means there's other things that ain't going to happen. When it comes to Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua is like, hey, let's cross that bridge when we get there, and preferably let's never get to that bridge. Right? And so it's just too obvious. So like I said before, the fight is not happening. Now, the names that Anthony Joshua is thinking about fighting, or what I've hear, is this McKean guy, the Southpaw guy from the other part of the world, right? Southern Hemisphere. Or Joseph Parker, another guy from the Southern Hemisphere. Here's the deal. Y'all know I roll with Joseph Parker. I think Joseph Parker's a good fighter. I think Anthony Joshua better not try to fight Joseph Parker to look for a resounding knockout. Right? If Anthony Joshua's fighting Joseph Parker to get to Deontay Wilder, then we're gonna probably have Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker. Because Joseph Parker, when he fights Anthony Joshua the next fight, I don't know if Anthony Joshua was winning that fight. I know Joseph Parker realizes now that he could have won that first fight. It was weird. Joseph Parker versus Anthony Joshua. I like to say it for all the people that are new here. Anthony Joshua won that fight. If you look into the fight, you'll see that the guy did not let them get anywhere close to any infighting. Anywhere close. The referee could not speak English. The fight was in England versus Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua, both people whose their mother language is English, and we get a fighter that speaks only Italian, and he can't say anything except break. Why the hell would you do that? Put him in charge of a fight that big at the time, right? Which was a unification fight. Yeah, so from that point on, you know what time it was. Joseph Parker is probably, for some people who don't roll with him and think he's just, barely kind of watching what he's up to and, just worrying about the fights that he lost, right? 2 of the fights he lost were controversial. Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. Both of them were controversial in England. Joe Joyce beat him. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, Anthony Joshua going to have an issue if he fights Joseph Parker. He better not do that. So let's see what happens. First of all, he's not fighting Deontay Wilder in December, which I told you again. How do I get everything right? It's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. There's some dude. I don't know these dudes. You can just see, as if you were just a man and judging these people like sport figures, like they are. Sport is in front. That's what's important. Then you can get most of these things right if you just watch. He ain't fighting him in December. Probably never gonna fight Deontay Wilder. And I'm gonna tell you this. They talking right now about McKean and Joseph Parker, but they guarantee they're going to try to get McKean. He's not going to fight Joseph Parker. And if he fights Joseph Parker, guys, we have a good fight. Because Joseph Parker versus Anthony Joshua 2 will be a barn burner of a fight. And I don't think Anthony Joshua's trying to get in any barn burners right about now. Let's see what happens. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.